Megyn Kelly has turned on Ben Shapiro. After the last election, the legacy media was overtaken by the new. All of a sudden, Joe Rogan had more eyeballs than ABC. YouTube, X, the stars with all the clout and views were independent content creators like the Daily Wire, like Megyn. But now, those same social media celebrities are at total war. Megyn Kelly has turned on Ben Shapiro over Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. The loss of Charlie Kirk has turned into a free-for-all of anger and ugliness. Today, it's time to explain why the new media went insane and where it's going next.
And I have since learned it is not true. Candace has not made that claim. And in fact, I've now seen several clips of Candace specifically defending Erica Kirk and saying,
hello folks, hello friends, welcome back yet again to the Pro Channel where we are covering media and entertainment. You know, we've held off on this topic for a very long time, and intentionally so, because it deals with the passing of somebody in a national tragedy, and I don't like to touch that kind of stuff and make it seem like we're trying to chase the clicks or whatever you might think. So I've been cautious of that, but it's no longer possible for me to do so. Click the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive in today. We're talking about personalities and businesses on YouTube and X and other places that have viewership that exceeds CNN and MSNBC. When we're talking about the Daily Wire, when we're talking about Megyn Kelly and Joe Rogan, these people have influence that far outstrips any show whatsoever on CNN, MSNBC, and elsewhere. Megyn Kelly, for example, gets something like 50 million views a month. This woman is her own TV channel, essentially. But everything has gone into total chaos. The knives are out, and your friendly neighborhood pro is about to explain to you what's really going on. And I'm going to make you a wager, folks. I'm going to make you a wager. I'm going to get through this, and I bet that whatever side you're on, whatever belief you have about Candace and Tucker and Ben and Megyn and all that, I bet I'm going to win you over. I'm going to make that bet with you. I'm going to make that wager. You stay with me and find out if it's true. First of all, we're going to go to the Megyn Kelly show. Ben Shapiro was on about 48 hours ago, and Ben, who she calls a friend, did something, and many of you out there don't understand what has happened, why Megyn Kelly has turned on Ben Shapiro. I want to go to the originating moment. I'm going to tell you what's really going on.
For example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Now notice, it's the Megyn Kelly show. Ben Shapiro is on. Did you hear the audience reaction? The audience reaction is pleased and even raucous that he has said such a thing. Megyn is on the stage with him in front of an audience for the Megyn Kelly show. Here's how it goes.
Because like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't take in that content, which is an honest statement.
All right. Now, Megyn Kelly is a savvy person, okay? We all know that she's extremely savvy. She's very smart, and she has her finger on the pulse. Did you notice, however, in front of her own audience, and I'm not making a position here, folks, okay? I don't think I can win anybody over in terms of your opinion about Candace Owens and what she's saying, okay? That's not the goal here. We're going to go actually to something more profound, I promise. But did you notice that when Ben does what he does, he gets a more raucous applause than when Megyn Kelly responds and says, I'm not the mom of the internet?
I don't have time to watch.
No, I believe you. But the point that I'm making is that
what I understand
friendship should not, in our business, I think it's important. Listen, friendship should not trump.
We don't even know each other.
I understand, but even with Tucker, friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think
And again, you heard the applause. This is on Megyn Kelly's stage. This is on Megyn Kelly's show, and it's coming with Ben Shapiro making a criticism of Megyn Kelly. Now, if there's one thing you don't do, and you may love Megyn Kelly and you may watch her every day, and I'm not making a criticism of her here. I'm just trying to tell you, when it comes to these kinds of individuals at these kinds of levels, these kinds of personalities, these are big shots. Megyn Kelly was there every single day as the Department of Defense, the Department of War secretary was going through the hearings and was confirmed. Megyn Kelly is a big deal. And so when Ben Shapiro goes up there and corrects Megyn Kelly and admonishes her in front of her own audience on her own show, and the applause rings out in his favor against her on her own stage that she's paid for, that's not the way she plays ball. Now, you can agree with Ben or you can agree with Megyn. Again, folks, you've come here for something deeper than for me to tell you what it is you're supposed to believe. What I want to do is I want to bring you to the level of understanding what's happening at the meta-analysis, what's happening behind the scenes. For somebody like Megyn Kelly, to have Ben Shapiro do that to her is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because massive amounts of money online. Remember, she's got 50 million views a month. Not acceptable. So this, I believe, will explain what happens next. Candace Owens responds to this situation and thanks Megyn Kelly because the next day, the very next day, Megyn Kelly comes out and responds to the Ben Shapiro kerfuffle that left her, I believe, embarrassed. Right or wrong, her audience applauded the guy who was criticizing her, okay? So here's the response from Megyn Kelly.
He said that Candace has been claiming Erica Kirk was behind the murder of Charlie, which I had not heard, and I was taken aback because that seems like something I would have heard. It's so crazy. And I have...
Now, you all, just to step in for a minute, you all have heard that, right? Right? You may not agree with it. Okay, that's different. That's different. You've heard that Candace has made that claim. Some of you believe that she's made that claim. Some of you don't believe she's made that claim. Right? Remember, folks, we're going to get through this, and I'm telling you, you're going to have enjoyed this video because I'm going to show you what's really happening. Megyn Kelly claims she, as the leader, as one of the biggest YouTubers out there, bigger than CNN, bigger than MSNBC, none of her people told her before Ben Shapiro came on that stage. She's claiming that she didn't know this, that this is a claim that people are saying about Candace Owens. So she's claiming that she was blindsided by this. Blindsided. I'll back it up just a little bit so we don't miss it, okay? I don't want to interrupt and cause you to miss something. But that's the claim from Megyn Kelly. She is one of the biggest people in the new media, right? She's under Joe Rogan, but not by much. She didn't know.
Not heard, and I was taken aback because that seems like something I would have heard. It's so crazy. And I have since learned it is not true. Candace has not made that claim. And in fact, I've now seen several clips of Candace specifically defending Erica Kirk and saying she would never make a claim like that about Erica, and that she is open-minded to other people at Turning Point. That's obvious. She's been...
All right, hold there, okay? Now, here's the deal. Did you notice that her applause was not as strong as when Ben Shapiro on the same show did what he did? She didn't get the same level of applause, so she's not happy. But she comes out and she says that this was a crazy thing that Ben Shapiro said, and that it's not true. Candace Owens says, thank you, Candace Owens, that is, Megyn Kelly, for clarifying that Ben Shapiro quite literally lied to your face and to your audience about my words. Now, why would Megyn Kelly come out and do this? Because this is essentially a complete betrayal of Ben Shapiro, right? She's taken Candace Owens' side. Now, set aside for a minute whether that's true or not, okay? And people have their opinions, right? We've got Glenn Greenwald here saying it's pretty amazing. You got the quartering. Jeremy over there saying Candace 100% insinuated that Erica Kirk was somehow involved, right? He says that fence sitter Megyn Kelly also knew that when Ben Shapiro said it a week ago, but cowardly waited a week to see which way the wind was blowing to disavow it. So everybody's got their opinions about why this is happening. I'm going to tell you why it's happening. Megyn Kelly, like all of these people, she has a massive media empire right now. And Megyn Kelly, whatever the truth might be about Candace, whatever the truth might be about Ben, you don't embarrass these people on their own shows and do it live. Remember Bill O'Reilly? Do it live. Hear my words, ladies and gentlemen. You can privately embarrass them to some degree. right? These are the alpha dogs. You can privately weigh in and tell them what you think. You can ask them to change their behavior privately. You can do it on a show where edits can happen, but you can't do it in front of an audience because then it can't be fixed in post. And for them, it's not a question of right or wrong. I'm telling you right now, you may love Megyn Kelly. I don't want to dissuade you from that. You may love Ben. Not trying to dissuade you. I'm trying to say that when you go on as an equal collaborator in this space with a giant media empire, Ben Shapiro's got the Daily Wire and it's been beleaguered and in trouble. They've lost Brett. The Candace situation is hanging over them. Jordan Peterson's not there due to illness. Daily Wire, the entertainment side has fallen apart. The Jeremy Boring stuff. I can go on and on. Ben Shapiro is he's not on an island, but he represents a different kind of this movement. And Megyn Kelly runs her own media empire. And those two items, these two giant businesses clashed in that moment live on stage in a way that could not be fixed because it went viral. And vast amounts of money are at stake with that. So whatever you might make of Megyn Kelly and her response to it, understand that it's tied into attempting to do something that will go viral again and in a way that pulls the wind out of the sails of Ben Shapiro. Now, what of this claim? What of this claim that Candace is out there saying that Erica was behind it all, okay? And Megyn comes out forcefully and says, no, it's not true. It's crazy. It's not true. Folks, here's how this is being played, okay? I'm going to show you why Candace is doing what she's doing. You ready?
This organization and more. He left me a blueprint and all of his journals, but more so.
But wait, Charlie, wasn't he like a boy genius? He's a pretty bright kid. Wouldn't he have maybe formalized that succession plan outside of like a diary? Maybe call one of his many lawyers, maybe formalize it in a will, because that's what you're supposed to do if you are thinking about dying and you need to make a plan. You make a will. I'm sure he had a will, but no, he wanted to put it in these notebooks. And then the plan was to guilt us, I think, to try to haunt us with the ghost of Charlie's notebooks that we're never going to be allowed to read, but we're supposed to accept that they most definitely read, like for sure. That's what it feels like. Do you agree? I think their thought process was it will be much easier for us to control the spirit of Charlie Kirk than the actual living, breathing Charlie Kirk.
Now remember that Erica is the CEO now of Turning Point, and she's the one talking about these notebooks that Charlie has left her. Candace criticizes that greatly. Now, if you want to take a charitable position about Candace, you might say that she's just asking questions. If you want to take the charitable position on this, you might say that Candace speaks to a great extent. Every single show she does is about this issue. And so there are times when you might stumble over something and make a faux pas that you didn't intend to say. Those are the charitable positions that you could say about it. If you are critical or skeptical of Candace, if you think she's crossed that line where you no longer wish to give her the benefit of the doubt, then you might say that this sounds an awful lot like a conspiracy in which his wife, Charlie's wife, is involved, according to Candace, and therefore Megyn Kelly's claim is wrong and Ben's right. This comes down to how charitable or skeptical you wish to be of Candace. But I'm here to go deeper than that. Folks, I want to show you why Candace is going to continue to do this, I believe, and there is no off-ramp. There is none. Candace Owens, this is her account on Social Blade for YouTube, showing she's got 5.5 million subscribers. She's doing very well. But I want you to pay attention to the gained views weekly, okay? And this is going to impact revenues and all kinds of things. In the past, Candace Owens, this shows per week over here. You see these? This is per week. Candace Owens was getting, about the middle, this is about the middle of where she was, about 11 million views per week. And that's pretty darn good, right? That's a 30 to 40 million probably, because she can take some days off. You can see some of these drops when she's not doing a show. That's about a 30 to 40 million, maybe a little bit higher, 30 to 40 million view channel per month. That's really good, right? That's really good. To put that in perspective, the quartering right now, getting something like 10 million. So that's 4 times bigger, than the quartering. We here on any given month, we're down this month due to some YouTube notification issues, but typically we're doing something like 4 to 7 million views per month. So Candace was doing fantastic. But after the passing, after what happened to Charlie Kirk, you can see she jumped up to 45 million views in a single week. And other than this time that she took a couple weeks off, she's been setting the baseline for her. The baseline is something like 20 million views per week. Now that transforms her channel from being a 30 to 50 million view per month channel to being an 80 to 100 million view per month channel. And that's like doubling or tripling your viewership, right? And that's doubling or tripling the revenues. And so there is no possibility for Candace, I don't believe, to find an off-ramp. This is what is driving her popularity. This is what is driving her viewership. In fact, if we were to go to Candace's YouTube channel and look at this, she is essentially a live show only channel. Candace Owens goes on to YouTube and she does 1 hour. And I don't know if, listen, I'm not aware of all the places she's syndicated. I can only look at the YouTube side of this and correlate it to other places. But if we go back 6 months, you can see she's getting 1 million views, 980,000 views, 875,000 views. And Candace's strategy is to do just a live stream, and that's it. That's not the way we do it on our channel, or some other channels do it, but she's been phenomenally successful, whatever you may think of her, phenomenally successful doing 1 hour live stream, end it, okay? You can see the times, 55, 43, 50, 57. But you can see the viewership here. Some of them, you've got a good one here, 2.6 million. But you got others that are doing 800,000, 940,000. I'd love to have those numbers, but for Candace, well, let's just say they're nothing compared to today. So if we scroll all the way up to the most recent live stream she's doing, 1.8 million views, 2.4 million views, 2.3, 2 million views, 1.5, 2.2, 2 million, 1.9 million, 2.1 million, 2.5 million, 3.6 million. Essentially 3 million over here. That is an order of magnitude. She has gone from being someone who was, a former Daily Wire personality who had a difference of opinion with Ben Shapiro and the folks over there. She has gone from doing numbers that were extremely good to suddenly superstardom status. Even if you disagree with her, you have to agree that she's achieving massive numbers, okay? Massive numbers. There is no off-ramp for Candace Owens as a business now. There is no off-ramp. And there is no off-ramp because if she stops this, she will lose the audience she has achieved. So from a financial business standpoint, set aside if you believe that she really believes this stuff. Set aside if you think she's sinister or evil or good or great. Maybe she's the secret investigator extraordinaire who's uncovering all this. Set all of it aside. There's going to be a trial. There's going to be stuff that comes out. And unless she wants to wipe out her entire channel, she has set up this strategy. She's set up this pattern where the only way she can sustain what she's achieved is to go more and more into this. And that's what's going to happen because there is no off-ramp to any other better solution. What do we know about addiction, folks? What do we know about behaviors? And I'm not trying to say that she's acting maliciously or that she's got a bad, an addiction. What do we know, though? You have to offer somebody something better for them to be able to step away from what they're doing and do something else, right? There's got to be some way that they can say, this is a better deal for me. I don't know of a better deal for her, but that doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's good. And the warning is going out. From Fox News, Joe Rogan warns that liberal celebration of what happened to Charlie Kirk shows we're closer to civil war than he thought. I'm going to play this for you, and I want you to listen to this because Joe Rogan, he has made a living, and he makes, he's the biggest, he's the boldest, he's the best in the new media, having conversations. Joe Rogan has a warning. His system is not the system that's been built by Candace Owens or Megyn Kelly or Ben Shapiro. His system is built on just conversation. Now, that I don't know that you can emulate that. Anybody can emulate it because nobody else can be a Joe Rogan necessarily. This is what he says.
Charlie Kirk gets shot and people are celebrating. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like, where are we right now on the scale of 1 to civil war? Where are we? Are we at 7? Because I thought we were at 5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, oh, we might be like 7. This might be like step 7 on the way to a bona fide civil war.
So, folks, here's what I want to tell you. Here's what I want to say to you. You can agree or disagree with Ben Shapiro. You can agree or disagree with Megyn Kelly. You can agree or disagree with Candace. You can agree or disagree with Joe Rogan. Whatever opinion you came into this video with, likely you're going out with. However, I hope that I've added to it. When we watched the memorial for Charlie Kirk, how many of you out there were moved by it? Many of you. Many of you were. I heard from you. Many of you were moved by Charlie Kirk, and many of you thought this was going to be a coming together moment. But I'm here to tell you, it wasn't. The opposite happened. And the opposite happened because there is now a battle for not only the ideology of the conservative movement going forward and of the new media, but there is a battle for the market share. And there are people out there who think that if they can just continue whatever the algorithm is feeding them, that they're going to win. That they're going to win. Folks, that's the battle that's on the horizon. And the algorithm is going to feed and feed and feed based on what people want to see and see and see. And I'll send you out with this one. How can this be reversed? How can these people go on to something else, something better, something brighter? How can we focus on what Charlie wanted for the world, which was to build up families and build up the prosperity and turn to faith? How can that happen? You must inspire and you must get back to winning. That's the voice that burns brighter than the divisions and the anger and whatever this is that we're watching. That's what will win. Get back to winning. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I have left you in a quandary of what does Pro really to believe, but at the same time, I hope I've left you thinking much more deeply about what's really going on. Folks, I've got my opinions. I know what I think about all of this, but that's not the goal today. Like a PhD level professor who does not insert his opinion into the dissertation you've just been given, that is my role. Why? Because I know you. You have the highest IQ on the web, and you're going to walk away with the things that you need to believe because they're true. Folks, click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, and let us know in the comments below, is this the kind of content you want to see? We're searching for what it is we should be covering over the next few months as we watch a Hollywood that's in collapse and a Disney that's desperate to find anything that will last. We'd love to hear from you. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their, different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured, by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I paid for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have think?